Well, and what's nice about mentally earmarking it for the house is that if some type of emergency were to come up in the future, right? We're going to answer a question later in this episode from a couple that's trying to do IVF, right? Let's say that, Cara said, we're not sure if kids are in the future or not. Let's say 5 years from now, they decide that they want to have children and that requires IVF. Wouldn't it be great to have excess money in a taxable brokerage account that they could tap for something unexpected like that?
But you could do that if it's earmarked towards some other goal. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's the beauty of mentally earmarking towards a goal is it's all inside of your head. You can just move the classification in your head to any other goal.
It's beautiful.
So you preserve that flexibility.
And looking at the way her money's allocated now with $344,000 the 401k, $75,000 the Roth, $29,000 the HSA, only $9,000 in the brokerage, that gives her a lot more flexibility by putting the $50,000 in the brokerage.
Right. Exactly.
And to your point, who the heck knows what's going to happen in the next 10 years? Yeah, there is the whole argument, and every small business owner I think is going to agree with me. Why is this a small business owner's problem in the first place? Like we've talked about, the average person now changes jobs. I think the latest number I saw was 7 times during their career. Why don't we just have a portable plan that everybody gets and you can just take and do your own thing? You know what I mean? You can decide between the different people out there. Why is this the employer's job to do this? It'd be cool if I could just plug my thing into my employer when I start. I get direct deposit already. The fact that this is unfair is just a product of the type of system that we have, which is grossly inefficient for a small business person and for the company trying to service the small business person, which is why the fees went up for your 401k, because they saw how hard it is to run these small 401k plans.
There's this quote from Oscar Wilde that a cynic is a man who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. In this case, the value that you're getting is that as a small business employee, you have access to a tax-advantaged 401k. And that is not something that a lot of small business employees have. A lot of small businesses don't offer retirement plans at all. Again, because the fee structure associated with offering benefits to your employees is so onerous. And not just the fee structure, but the paperwork, the administration. I mean, the owner of a small business has to spend a lot of their time just handling admin, and that's time that they could otherwise be spending growing the business. So there's certainly a lot of opportunity cost when, as the owner of a small business, you are focused on what I call death by 1,000 paper cuts. You're focused on admin rather than on growth, right? There's opportunity cost that happens there, and that affects everybody. It affects the employees because now, if the company were to grow, the employees
more money for raises,
more, right? Exactly. Or you could hire more employees to help reduce or share the workload among the existing employees. So it's in everybody's interest for a small business to grow, and yet that gets curtailed when the owner of a small business has to spend a lot of their time on admin. And that's what happens when a small business offers benefits.
I have $300,000 in various investment accounts, mostly positioned in broad-based passive index funds. I contribute the maximum to these accounts each year. I also have around $125,000 in essentially cash positions and other non-retirement accounts, not including my emergency fund. My partner is finishing up university and expects to bring in around $60,000 a year when she enters the workforce. Several years ago, she acquired a lump sum of $80,000, which she invested into a taxable brokerage account. It's now valued around $130,000. We have no debt. Our goal requires making 2 large purchases. First is the raw land. Second is everything else needed for building the off-grid home. We expect to perform a fair bit of the labor ourselves, so the majority of the cost will be for materials and equipment. We're aiming to spend around $300,000 in total. I will be using my cash position to fund as much as possible, but I'd like to know your thoughts on leveraging the money in the taxable brokerage account. I'm well aware of the debate between paying outright for a large purchase versus taking a loan and investing the rest. Assuming the average rate of return of the taxable brokerage account exceeds the interest of the loan, I can see the argument for taking the loan and letting the money grow. but we are very debt averse and like the idea of being able to take mini retirements from time to time.